Behind me you see two examples of the KFA Safari XL. This model was introduced approximately 4 years ago, and we thought it was about time that we make this video for you guys, giving you more information on the options, your lead times, and what sets this bad boy apart from the rest of the pack. So we have two examples of the Safari XL. This one was built by an American customer of ours. He elected to do the builder assist, so he spent a couple of weeks in South Africa building this aircraft. I'll quickly run through the specifications of this specific one and also tell you guys a little bit more about the options available. So starting from the front, you can see we've got a 4-blade E-prop. The owner elected to install a ground adjustable propeller. This is an 80-inch propeller and it only weighs 4 kilograms. So if you want a light bush aircraft, this is the ideal propeller. Moving to the engine, so under the cowl you will find a Rotax 916IS. It's a 160 horsepower fuel injected turbocharged full FADEC engine, and this is the best engine for this airframe at the moment. Moving to the landing gear, you will see that the stance of the aircraft is quite high. It's got 31-inch bush wheels with 10-inch rims from Matco, and it's got a dual piston single caliper brake system. The landing gear is 4 inches extended from a standard KFA Mark III. You'll see this owner also elected not to cover the landing gear. He kept it open. If you cover the gear, you can add a knot or two. Moving to the shocks, you will see that the KFA Buffalo suspension comes standard with this aircraft. So the fairings on this aircraft is from carbon fiber. The leading edges are also carbon fiber. And moving on, you will see the wingtips, also carbon fiber. We have a STOL fence at the end of the flaperon. There's some KFA secrets here with some extensions on the leading edge of the flaperon, and then the STOL fences and vortex generators, which is visible on the leading edge. All of this comes standard with our kits. Moving to the tail section, we also have a fence here, and then fairings on these strut fairings. We have a mechanically manually adjustable trim tab for the rudder, and then on this one we have a standard 3-blade spring blade shock system for the tail wheel, and we have an 8-inch wide Matco tail wheel on here. There are many aftermarket options available, and all of those should fit this aircraft. Moving along, trim tab with a Ray Allen or a Corgi trim system. And the fences again, the same on this side. We have 135 liters of fuel in the wing tanks, and that is approximately 36 gallons of fuel. STOL fences again, same story going around this side. Here you'll see the KFA and RA lighting designed in South Africa, the strobes. We have our KFA unique pitot-static system, and if you want to know more, come visit us at Sun and Fun or Oshkosh and I will explain the purpose of this. Moving to the interior, because the mission of this aircraft is to be light and be used for off-field operation, the owner decided to keep the interior as minimalistic as possible. So he elected to stay with the carbon options without any leather, and only kept the leather to the actual seats. You can see these seats are beautifully designed. The owner designed these himself, and KFA did the leather work. Moving to the panel, you'll see that he kept it simple with MGL avionics, and also he did a carbon overlay on the aluminium or aluminum instrument panel. You'll see the owner kept everything carbon, so it's a nice clean interior. He used a bed liner on the roof, turtle deck, and on certain sections of the luggage compartment. And then also kept the luggage compartment sides and rear with carbon fiber, and the floorboards are from carbon fiber as well. Moving on to our next aircraft. The mission of this aircraft was completely different than the first one. This one is more built for speed, comfort, different mission profile like IF. Also, it incorporates hydraulic constant speed propeller, which gives you better cruise, better fuel consumption, and also better climb. So this propeller is a FP propeller from FP Prop in Italy. They installed a 3-blade Sensonic system on here. You also have the choice of Cato and various other propellers. Moving to the engine, once again our flagship Rotax 916 IS 160 horsepower engine. I've covered that already. Landing gear. So you'll notice on this one that we have the 27-inch wheels instead of 31. The 27.5s are the standard wheels that come with a kit or a factory-built aircraft. Also standard Buffalo suspension, and then the standard tail wheel in the back. So the interior of this aircraft is more standard. You'll notice that the grey leather seats are more neutral colors and so on. The side panels of the center console, the kick panels, everything is leather covered. Also the instrument panel top with the dash. The interior, the roof, the turtle deck and the sides of the luggage compartment has a fabric upholstery lining. This aircraft is also fitted with a BRS system for safety. The BRS has got a couple of advantages, one disadvantage, and I'll mention that quickly. So this complete system weighs approximately 15 kilograms, so it does take a bit away of your useful load and also your luggage capacity or luggage load in the back. But if you look at the advantages of the BRS system, when there's pilot incapacitation, structural failure, engine failure, and you're flying over hostile terrain, the BRS is definitely a lifesaver. You'll see there's a little lock in there, and it gets locked and unlocked before and after a flight, so that there can't be any accidental activation. So getting in is fairly simple. I'll step with my left leg on the wheel, my hand inside, put my legs in, and then just move the stick over, and I can just position myself in the seat. Moving to the instrument panel, you'll see in this aircraft we've installed a dual Garmin G3X touch system. We've got the GTX 375 navigator, a Navcom radio, intercom system with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and so on. Autopilot control panel, and this aircraft is rated for IF flying and night flying. So an additional safety feature of this aircraft is we've got a header tank low fuel warning system. When the header tank has got approximately 500 milliliters of air that accumulated and it didn't vent for some reason, or you forgot to open your fuel valve, this will warn you in good time that there's a problem, and you have about 10 to 15 minutes that you can search for the problem or a place to land. So it's an additional safety feature of the aircraft. This aircraft, we've got dual Garmin USB systems, so you want to charge an iPad or your cell phone and other accessories. So the luggage door is opened with a key, and we always keep the key on the ignition so you do not forget to lock the luggage. So the luggage is very large. We have a 50 kilogram luggage capacity, and if you've got a BRS, you've got 35 kilograms. As you can see, it is very big, and I can easily get in and out of here. Locking is very simple, and that's it. Let's quickly discuss the specifications of this aircraft, takeoff run, and all those very important things for pilots. Let's have a look at the performance of the KFA Safari XL. So I'll discuss all the performance figures based on the Rotax 916 IS 160 horsepower engine with the variable pitch propeller that you see with me. So the takeoff run of this aircraft is below 60 meters, and I'm not going to give all the imperial values. We'll leave a link for you guys to go and check our brochure. I'll just stick to the metric. So 60 meters takeoff run, our landing roll is 60 meters or less. Average pilot about 80 meters. I know some exceptional pilots that have done it in half that distance. So it is not a super STOL aircraft, but it is definitely up there. In terms of climb rate, you're looking at 1,800 foot per minute. That is a constant climb at maximum takeoff weight. Maximum takeoff weight of this aircraft is 800 kilogram, and the empty weight will depend on your options chosen, landing gear, engine, propeller, and so forth. And we are looking between 420 and 460 kilograms. Then in terms of cruise, the aircraft cruises at 100 knots comfortably, and it burns about 27 liters per hour at that speed. If you bring down your cruise slightly to 90 to 95 knots, the fuel burn comes down to 22 liters an hour. At 90 knots and below, it is 20 liters and less. The stall speed of this aircraft is 30 knots at max gross weight. And why the stall speed is so much lower than the standard Mark III Safari is the new wing that we've incorporated here and designed. This wing is 1.5 square meters larger than the standard wing. It cruises faster, it stalls lower. Because of the thicker profile of the wing, we also carry more fuel, and it also gives you more headroom. I'll quickly run through the specifications of the cockpit area and the differences there. Just a short one, we've discussed the landing gear, which is extended by 4 inches. The landing gear extension was needed because of the different angle of attack of the stalling of this new wing. And that brings the deck angle up to the correct deck angle for short field landings and actually getting to that maximum angle of attack. The 27-inch wheels, as discussed, is standard. So the difference in the cockpit area, the firewall was moved forward by 35 millimeters, and we shortened the engine mount by 35 millimeters. So the CG of this aircraft is still in the exact same position. As mentioned previously, we have a thicker wing, so we have 15 millimeters more headroom, but we also lifted the cockpit by another 25 millimeters. So that gives you an effective headroom increase of 40 millimeters. So this airplane is ideal for those pilots that are 2 meters tall. So this aircraft builds on 30 years of development at KFA. It was introduced approximately 4 years ago, and this year KFA will celebrate its 34th year of existence. And we are very excited about this aircraft. This adds a complete new dimension to adventure flying. The aircraft is very useful. It's got a high useful load. It's got a high baggage load capacity, a big volume. So for those adventuring guys, this is the aircraft for you. You can load your camping gear, get there quite quick. There are very few bush planes with 27-inch wheels and all the bush gear hanging out that can still do 100 knots. Current lead times on kit and factory built aircraft vary from 3 to 7 months. So it's 3 to 4 months for a kit and 5 to 7 months for a factory flyaway aircraft. That is ready at the factory, and then we still have to include the transit times. They normally vary between 6 and 8 weeks. Then you can also visit our website for more information. We have 2 websites for international customers. It's kitplanesforafrica.co.za, and for the North American customers, it is kfa-usa.com. We have a team of dedicated sales people and dealer networks and distributors that are ready to assist you. They will take you through the whole process of selecting your kit, the options, interior design, panel, your paint schemes, and all the other options available on the aircraft, including engine and propeller. So go visit that website, kfa-usa.com or kitplanesforafrica.co.za. We'll see you in the next one.